I guess my activities on a day-to-day basis involve reading lawsuits and understanding what's creating liability for fire departments. I get up in the morning and I'm searching the internet. I'm searching some of my professional databases, Lexis being one of them, to find lawsuits and legal problems affecting fire departments. So I do that, call it my hobby, in addition to my job as an attorney. And starting in about 2016, 2017, 2018, I noticed that we're starting to see some fire departments being sued for their involvement in administering ketamine. And I saw the first case and said, well, that's interesting. I don't recall anything prior, but the fact pattern made sense. And the fact pattern was something like this. The police call for EMS, EMS comes, we've got an unruly suspect, ketamine is administered, and the patient ends up passing away. And I said, wow, that's interesting. So that was like probably 2016, 2017, 2018, okay? But I saw the first one. A month or so later, I see a second one. A month or so later, I see a third one. And I started saying, wait a minute now, something's going on here. And Shannon, if you can advance through some of those other slides there. And then more recently, over the last year, we had an incident in Aurora, Colorado, that not only led to a civil suit, a wrongful death suit against, naming not only the police officers and the police department, but the medics and the fire department involved. But in this case, we had a couple of paramedics that were indicted for manslaughter in the death of Elijah McClain. And so just kind of taking a step back, I said, geez, why now? Or is it me? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe there's always been ketamine lawsuits and I just didn't realize it. So I went back and I found no lawsuits prior to 2015, not one. And I said, well, what's causing this? And you think back of what's been happening across the country, and we've got, the death of Michael Brown in Ferguson in 2014, George Floyd more recently, and again, some of the other incidents. And I was at the point where I'm saying, well, is ketamine new to us in EMS, or are we just starting to administer it more? And like, there's a pattern here. And whenever, as a lawyer and a fire service leader, I really want to be alert to those things. And I had a conversation with Shannon a while back, and she suggested writing an article on this to kind of bring it to folks' attention. And I said, all I can do is raise the question. I can say, this is concerning to me. In fact, and there's another interesting suit. I forget which state it was in, but we had a firefighter who was terminated, and he alleged that the reason he was terminated was a prior incident that happened when he refused to administer ketamine at the request of a police captain. And that was part of a wrongful termination suit involving a firefighter. I said, something's going on here, and we need to bring together people that have expertise outside of my area of expertise, which is fire and law, but really involves law enforcement. I mean, do we have law enforcement asking us to do this more often? And by the way, what the heck is ketamine? What is it? Why is it all of a sudden becoming an issue? And then what are we going to do? And I'm an attorney, okay? So I'm concerned about liability. So yes, we're worried about liability, but we don't want to see people die. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We don't want to see someone, whether it's a suspect or who's being arrested or a patient who needs medical care. What do we do about it? And I know from my experience, when we have someone who is fitting into the fact pattern that Mike explained, they're going, I think it's called the hot, sweaty, naked guy, but that person, if we don't do something, he's apt to run out into traffic and get hit by a car. He's maybe apt to harm someone else. Possibly if he's in a building, he could jump out a window, jump off a roof. So, just disengaging with the person is not the solution either. They need help. How do we safely, without going hands-on, how do we do that? Is ketamine being viewed as the solution to that? And again,